Welcome to Rob Schmitt Tonight. If you are a woman in a swing state, you have been inundated with insufferable pandering by the Democrat Party for the past several months. It is a never-ending onslaught of political ads all around you about how dangerous Trump is for women, and of course, why it's critically important we protect the right to abort babies for months longer than most any other first world country on this planet. Kamala Harris has one road to power, and that is through women. With her tremendous incompetence, faux personality, and heavily mocked plan for America, she has destroyed every other coalition Democrats depend on. So she has women and she has abortion. She's bleeding Black, Hispanic, and union votes throughout all 7 swing states. And in the left's major engines like Philadelphia, the Democrat turnout is ugly so far, down dramatically from 2020, almost by half in Philadelphia, as you can see right over my shoulder. So for Kamala, it is women or bust. And with that, we give you the insufferable billionaire Mark Cuban, whose rabid hatred of Donald Trump got the best of him this morning on The View.
Turns out Donald Trump is not even asking Nikki Haley for her help to try to reach her voters. What do you make of that?
Donald Trump, you never see him around strong, intelligent women, ever. It's just that simple. They're intimidating to him. He doesn't like to be challenged by them.
Yeah, that'll help win over independent females. Insinuate that all the women in Trump's immediate orbit are just meek, subservient, and unintelligent. So here are some of the faces of the ladies that work most closely with Donald Trump. You recognize a lot of them from the show. Trump has trusted women to run his legal defense these past couple of years. He put one of the toughest women on the planet in charge of the CIA when he was the president, and nominated a woman to run the Department of Education for him as well. But we're not going to start pandering to women, or we're going to sound exactly like them, and we would never want to do that. And that's exactly how Mark Cuban sounded a few hours after his brilliant remark on The View, when he said he knows many strong, intelligent women voting for Trump, including in his own family, blah, 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 just digging the hole deeper and deeper. Yeah, right. And while Mark Cuban scrambles, the left wants to divert you away from his comments, of course, as they work to make this Trump comment from yesterday somehow the real story.
Kamala has imported criminal migrants, including savage criminals who assault, rape, and murder our women and girls. I want to protect the women of our country. I want to protect the women. Sir, please don't say that. Why? They said we think it's very inappropriate for you to say. So why? I'm president. I want to protect the women of our country. They said, sir, I just think it's inappropriate for you to say. Pay these guys a lot of money. Can you believe it? I said, well, I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not. I'm going to protect them.
Only with a media as ridiculous as ours could that comment somehow be weaponized, but you knew it would be. From the New York Times, Trump says he'll protect women, like it or not, evoking his history of misogyny. If nothing else, it's an incredibly entertaining time to be alive. Every day, you wake up to a shotgun blast of stupidity from our intellectual elite. What a chauvinist! He's going to try to keep women safe from the 30,000 illegal crossers convicted of rape or murder in their home countries. Gross. Women have the right to be raped and killed by migrants, screams the New York Times. That's your media. Over at CNN, the morning show had to heavily edit Trump's comment to create a controversy. Unfortunately, Byron Donalds was on the show, and he obviously was not having it.
Why is Donald Trump telling women he will do things whether they like it or not?
John, that is grossly inaccurate what you just played. Play the full clip. Play it in its context. He was talking about the tragedy at our southern border that led to the death of Jocelyn Nungare. Really, he was telling a joke about how some of the staff said, no, don't say you would protect women, because they would take it out of context, obviously what CNN is doing right now.
If you had seen the clip that they played of Trump, we played the full thing and you heard it on the show here. They played about 4 seconds of it and had to cut it really sharply to make sure that it sounded bad. And then you heard that from John Berman. It's priceless. This is the second time this week the media has tried to manufacture a ridiculous Trump scandal out of nothing, starting with the random comedian's joke on Sunday at MSG, and now with Trump threatening to protect women. How dare he? We knew they'd get manic as Trump zeroed in on a possible victory as we got closer to Tuesday, of course, but nothing was better than Kamala Harris's reaction to Trump's threatening to protect women. Take a listen to this.
I will comment on the former President Donald Trump's remark about women and whether they like it or not. And listen, it actually is, I think, very offensive to women in terms of not understanding their agency, their authority, their right, and their ability to make decisions about their own lives, including their own bodies.
Such a pitiful candidate. It's so sad. And it's not working, and nobody's buying this. Even the people that she talks to are not buying this. The people that are voting for her aren't buying this. You know you're getting trounced when you turn that comment from Trump into something about abortion. I mean, she's fighting for her life. After her one glimmer of hope, the Puerto Rico garbage joke was, of course, spun into her own disaster by Biden on that Zoom call Tuesday night. Trump commandeering the garbage saga yesterday. He cleaned up on this yesterday afternoon, on this afternoon. He cleaned up on it yesterday. Although the ladies of The View are trying to reimagine the brilliant campaign move, and this is how they sound.
The geniuses of the Trump campaign are like, let's remind everyone about your worst news cycle by putting you in a garbage can and reminding everyone what you said about America and what you said about Puerto Ricans. Yeah. This is the dumbest campaign thing I've ever seen.
It's one of the dumbest campaign moves she's ever seen. Never let her run a campaign if she thinks that was a dumb campaign move, because that was as good as it gets. At CBS News, which now takes its cues from the DNC, apparently, listen to how Norah O'Donnell covered the Biden gaffe and then Trump's response with the garbage truck.
He landed in Green Bay just a short time ago and then pulled this campaign stunt, speaking to reporters from a garbage truck, proof that he and his supporters are giving no grace to a gaffe by President Biden, where he, in his explanation, inadvertently called Trump supporters garbage. This, of course, was in response to that racist joke about floating garbage told at a Trump rally just last weekend. Vice President Harris is distancing herself from the negativity and trying to drive home her unifying message that if elected, she will represent all Americans.
It's like a DNC press release. And she said inadvertently. Biden inadvertently said it. How does she know it was inadvertent? Did she climb inside Biden's head and figure this out? His demented head? Talk about giving grace. That is straight from the Biden press team without attribution and just played at the top of CBS Evening News. Since when does CBS Evening News work for Karine Jean-Pierre? When did that happen? Inadvertently? You don't know that. She doesn't know that. Nobody knows that. That's a hell of a spin at the top of the CBS Evening News. If Trump wins on Tuesday, it'll reveal just how far the media has collapsed. This week, New York Mag prepping the lefties that read this magazine for a pending disaster, discussing what will become of the corrupt mainstream media that Donald Trump has spent 8 years exposing. As one of the TV execs put it, if half the country has decided that Trump is qualified to be president, that means they are not reading any of this media, and we've lost this audience completely. A Trump victory means mainstream media is dead in its current form, and the question is, what does it look like after? And that was not a quote from Jeff Bezos, by the way. But they have lost their power. They have lost their power, and they are now losing their minds.
You know, everybody's reporting the same stories, the same spin. You turn the channel, it's always the same. But not us. We're different. We report the real news. No spin, just the facts. Turn to us, and you won't turn back.
Tune in to Rob Schmitt tonight on Newsmax.